Welcome again. In this tutorial, I'm going to teach about the question dealing with the question of a straight line. Now, the question reads, a straight line L1 passes through point A, that is 3, 0, and point B, 0, 4. A point P equidistant from X and Y axis lies on the line AB. Find the coordinates of point P. Now, if a point is equidistant to any given point, means that the equal measurement from the x-axis, which is equivalent to the measurement from the y-axis. It implies that if the point is 3 units from the x-axis, it is also the same as 3 units from the y-axis. Even if it is 7 units from the x-axis, it's the same as the 7 units from the y-axis. Now let us assume that the coordinate of point P, because it is equidistant to both the x-axis and the y-axis, let's assume that it is t, t. Because they are all equal, equidistance means that from that point to the x-axis to from that point to the y-axis are all the same. Now to find this point P, first of all, we must find the equation of this line. Then after finding the equation of the line, because we have the coordinates of point P, then we need to find the gradient of this line first, because this point P is lying along the line means that any 2 points that lying along the line must give us the same gradient equal to the gradient of this particular line. Now the gradient of the line, so the gradient of this line is equal to the change in the y-axis, the y-coordinate over the change in the x-coordinates. Now the points given is A, so I will say this 3, 0 is x1, y1, and this is x2, y2. So the change in y is equivalent to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So the y2 here is 4. 4 minus y1, which is 0, over x2, which is 0, minus x1, that gives you 3. So the gradient of the line, let me denote it as m, is equal to 4 over negative 3. So that is the gradient of the line. Because point P is lying along the line, so this implies that when you find the equation of the line using the point P, should give us the gradient. Now taking point P, which is t, t, and one of the points which can either be A or B, should give us the gradient, which is the point. We can just take A, which is 3, 0. So find the gradient m, the same as the change in y. That is the change in y over the change in x. Now I will state now point P being the first coordinate x1, y1, and this again to be x2, y2. So the gradient of the line is 4, negative 3. We substitute it in the equation. 4 over negative 3. This gives us the y2, which is 0, minus y1 t over x2, which is 3, minus t. So we can cross multiply. So we have 4 to bracket 3 minus t. This gives you negative 3 to bracket negative t. Now opening the brackets, that gives us 12 minus 4 t is equivalent to 3t. Now negative 40 plus the equal sign becomes 12 is equivalent to 3t plus 40, that gives you 70. So divide both sides by 7, divide by 7. So this implies that the value of t is equal to 12 over 7. 12 divided by 7. Now if the value of t is 12 over 7, this implies that the coordinate of t, p is t, t. So that is 12 over 7, 12 over 7. So that is the coordinate of point P. Thank you.